So what I wanted to do tonight is basically just have conversation with you and talk to you about resilience is a topic I thought of because I have been working on some studies recently having to do with positive intelligence, and I'll share that website with you. That is about helping us overcome the kind of negative thoughts or feelings we might have about ourselves that maybe keeps us from feeling as confident as we would like to feel when we are out in the world, experiencing life and going through different kinds of changes and transitions. So I thought I would share a little bit of that with you today or tonight. And then also I am an NLP practitioner. I've studied that since 2014, and I use a lot of those skills in my daily life, really, in being more present and more aware. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen with you now, and just go over a couple of PowerPoints with you. All right, so we're talking about exploring resilience. The Catalyst Coaching and Consulting is my company. Yeah, so the reason I call this Exploring Resilience, Increase Your Success and Intentionality, Tools to Increase Confidence, is because for me personally, it's like I know that I'm resilient, but I didn't really intentionally create resilience in my life. So as I've gotten older now and I started looking back at my life, I realized what did happen in my life that helped me become confident in certain situations so that I could overcome difficulties. And each time I would do that, it seemed to build on to my level of confidence. And so I thought, well, maybe if I can kind of put that framework together a little bit, that I could share that out, that maybe other people could relate to it as well. So the intentionality is like, for me, it's setting an intention that for ourselves that we want to be confident, we want to be successful, and I want to do that personally. I want to do that in an intentional way, as opposed to like, oh, it accidentally happens. You know, I mean, that's nice when that happens, but I'd rather live my life more intentionally. So let's see. So just as a kind of an overview of an agenda, I'll have one slide that kind of shows you my experience with change, what I've gone through in my 65 years, how I work with emotional states, and that's the NLP portion, and then a little bit about what positive intelligence is. It's an actual study and kind of a methodology, and then we'll do a little exercise that you can use to kind of focus on yourself for just a couple of minute exercise. And it's kind of a guided experience that we'll go through together. So this is just to display or to show you that in my experience, I've been in human resources now for 35 years, and I've been laid off 4 times. And the numbers on the left side on the 4 layoffs was how old I was each time it happened. And on the right side is how I felt each time I got laid off. So the first time was, and I won't go through all of them, but the first time I was 31 and was pregnant with my first child. I was like 8.5 months pregnant. So I was shocked when that happened, and it threw me for a loop for probably a year. I think really for a year, I was just really knocked off my game for sure. And then the second time, and then the third time, and then the last time, I was shocked again, because that one I really didn't expect the timing for it to happen at that point. But it caused me to take action. That was the time when I decided to go ahead and start my consulting business, because I had been thinking about it and hadn't yet taken, I had taken a step towards it by taking a 1-year coach training class so that I could really work on my coach training skills as well as consulting. So at 58, when I got laid off the last time, I took it as it's time. It's time for me to now do the thing that I've been wanting to do all my career. And so that's when my consulting started in 2015. But I show this slide because you can see that I was shocked, I was frightened. One time I got laid off, I was relieved. And then I can be shocked. So you can experience full ranges of emotion with change. So that's true for all of us. And one of the things that I've learned more so now that it's all behind me, is that the ways I was feeling are actually states. I was in a state of fear. I was in a state of being shocked. And what I am learning, and what I try to share with my friends, family, my clients, is that these conditions, these states that we get into, are temporary. They are so temporary. And if we can help ourselves move out of them, move through them, not skip them, because we want to go through them because that's part of the human experience, but to move through them and get to whatever's on the other side, then that's part of what builds the resilience, is moving through these emotions. The emotions themselves are not bad. It's part of the human condition. But we don't have to get stuck there. We don't have to get stuck in the fear and stuck in the feeling of lack or whatever that might be. It's temporary, and we always have a choice. So that's what I remind myself of.